Okay, so welcome to the next Traffic Ultimatum video. In this video, we're going to cover the materials from Chapter 3 on social network marketing. So, the first thing we want to cover is Web 2.0 sites. So these are sites like Squidoo, Hub Pages, Tumblr, and Blogger that you can post your content to. Right, now, just to give you an idea of how large these sites really are, what I'm going to do is just go very quickly over here to Google. And one of the options that you have for searching in Google is to use the cite operator. So what I'm going to do is just going to go to squidoo.com. So it's site://http://www.squidoo.com. And in this case, Google has 5.88 million pages listed in its results, all from squidoo.com. Now, Hub Pages is another one of these Web 2.0 sites, and in this case, Google has 1.78 million pages indexed. Tumblr is very similar. It's a microblogging site, but in this case, that has 2.74 million pages, all indexed by Google. And then we have blogger.com, which has 46.7 million pages, all indexed by Google. Now, it's quite funny that Blogger is the one site that happens to be owned by Google, and it has many more pages listed than the others. But as you would expect, of course, Google is going to make sure that its pages from its own sites are going to be indexed. So, I mean, the process is really straightforward, pretty basic. All you do is you can just visit the various sites. So there's Hub Pages, there is Tumblr, Blogger, as we mentioned. WordPress.com is another as well. So is Weebly.com, Zimbio.com, Instablogs, Blogsome, Vox, WetPaint. Now, WetPaint and Wikispaces, those two are more wikis than they are Web 2.0 sites. There's a slight difference, but at the end of the day, it's really just the same thing. It allows you to post your articles, your videos, any sort of audio files that you happen to find. Anything that you want can be posted, even to Wikispaces or WetPaint. Zenga is another. Okay, and so as I mentioned, there's Blogger as well. So what I'm going to do is just to give you an example of the process that you'll use to create these pages. I'm just going to take an example here from Hub Pages and from Tumblr. So I'm just going to go through the process very quickly of creating a new hub page to show you how it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is just sign into my account. So I'm just going to pause the video very briefly here just to sign in. It'll take one moment. Okay, so there I am. I have now logged in to my hub page. Now when I created the hub page, I chose the name of Win Her Back Guide. As you remember earlier, that was one of the domain names that was available for this market. So if I would put this only if I were to choose that as the domain name, just to create that consistency. Okay, so all you do is you just go to select Start a New Hub. Okay, so you just choose a title for your hub. So Win Her Back Guide. I'm going to choose a category, gender and relationships, relationship issues, and then breaking up. Once I have the category selected, I can also choose a layout. So I can have a photo at the top, text, and then comments at the bottom. I can have text and photos at the top and then comments. As well, I can have the text at the top, more text beside the photo. So, I mean, it's just a matter of choosing one versus the other. And then what I want to do is I want to add some different tags. So all the tags are going to be something that you found during your keyword research. Okay, so there's a few there. So win her back, how to win her back, ways to win her back. Those were all keywords that we found earlier. Okay, so Hub Pages just gives you a quick message here letting you know that there's no spam, no adult content, no gambling, English only, and to not copy any content and post it onto your hub. So I'll just hit continue there, and then we have to enter in the information here for the CAPTCHA. Okay, so just click continue, and there we go. So this is the part where you can assemble your capsule. So this is going to show us what the page is going to look like. So if I just hit the preview button right now, as you can see, there's nothing much there. It's just the title, that I'm the author, and there's no information under this text area, this photo area, or this text area, because I haven't gone in and added any information to those areas yet. So the first part that I want to edit is the top text portion. Now I can really add anything that I want in here, but what I like to do is just put a title. Okay, so you can bold it, you can change the font size by choosing whether it's a heading or a paragraph. So by changing it to heading 2, I'm going to make the font larger. So if I save that and then I select preview again and go back to the preview, now you see three surefire ways to win her back shows up in the hub. Okay, so I can also go in and edit a photo. Now the photo can either reside on your computer or from the web. Now for your hubs, you're going to choose you're going to have to choose royalty-free images. What that means is that you can't just steal an image, although in this example, that's all I'm going to do is just go to Google Images and grab one. I'm just doing that for the speed of it. You'll have to use your own images or royalty-free or stock images. So there's a bunch of different stock image sites that you can find images from. But just for the purposes of this example, I'm just going to type win her back in Google Images, and there's a picture here that I found earlier. This happens to actually be Shane Crosby, who's a hockey player for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So if there's any hockey fans, you probably recognize him. But, so yeah, it's just an example here. Like I said, the image gets uploaded. I'm just going to choose half width. You can test it out and see how big it's going to be. So we'll go back to preview and refresh preview. Okay, so you can see it's still quite a large image, which is good. It'll help to draw attention to that portion of the page as well to the article. And then I can go right here and I can edit the text. Now what I can do is I can just use the content that I have from the article that we wrote earlier and just add that in. Okay, so all I did was just copied and pasted that into this document here. And then I'm going to go through and just make a few subtle changes. There's 3 different sections to the article, so I just want to highlight those. I can also underline it actually, just to draw a little bit more attention to it. So, I mean, this is all just standard, formatting. You can make whatever changes you like. Also very important is to make sure that you have your links here. So just highlight the text that you want to link to. Click the link button at the top. Put in your URL and then click insert. So let's do that again with another keyword here. Okay, so ways to win her back was a keyword that we wanted to target. So I'll highlight those keywords. I'll click on the link button up top here. I'll select my domain. Okay, and I'll click insert. And now that those keywords will change into a link. Okay, so once I have that ready, I can hit save. Okay, and then I can go back again, select to refresh the preview. Okay, and there you go. Okay, now I can also add other modules or other capsules, excuse me. So up at the top here, I can add another text capsule. I can add a video, news, comments, eBay. There's quizzes and polls. I can add content from Amazon or even RSS feeds. Adding an RSS feed is a really neat way to keep this hub page constantly updated. The Win Her Back guide site that I would set up would be installed with WordPress, and it would have an RSS feed. So what I could do is I could post the RSS feed for that site onto this hub page. Then every time I post a new article to Win Her Back guide and that website, it will show up here on this capsule on this hub page as well. So just select edit. Okay, select the feed URL. You can preview it to see that it does work correctly. Okay, and then it will add it just like it did when it added the content for the article. Now if I choose that I don't want to have this, I'll just click the delete button and it will delete it. I can also change the order of things. Let me show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a video here. So just click on that to add it and then go to edit. Okay, so I can give it a subtitle if I like. So ways to win her back is a keyword phrase that is related to Win Her Back that I also want to target with this hub page. So I can use that as the capsule subtitle. Then what I can do is I can input the video URL or the embed code for any video that I like. So going back to YouTube once again and searching for Win Her Back, what I can do is I can find that same video that we saw earlier. I'll just copy and paste the URL for the video into Hub Pages. Select to preview the video. Okay, so everything looks fine there. So I'll save that. Now what I can do is, well, let me just refresh the preview to show you how it looks right now. Okay, so there's the title. There's my article. Okay, there's some comments. And then there's my video. So for me, I'd want to have my comments last if I'm going to have them at all. So I want to make sure that the video shows up above it. So all I do is very easily just click the arrow button to move it up. And that's it. Now when I go back and refresh this page, it'll show my article first, the video second, and then the comments at the bottom. Okay, so I mean there's obviously lots of different things that you can add. You can add, as I mentioned earlier, additional text capsules to add more articles. But I've found that keeping it short and simple works well as well. So rather than having a very general hub page, keep things very targeted, and then that way you can have multiple hub pages all targeting different keywords. Okay, so that's hub pages. Like I said, it's a pretty simple process. You can play around with things, change the look of it, change the order of things. You can add videos. Like I said, you can add photos, Amazon content, polls, anything you like. So it's really as much as your imagination takes you. Alright, so now that we're done with hub pages, let's move on to the next. And let's take a look here at Tumblr. So Tumblr is a macro blog. It works very similar to a blog with your newest post showing up first, oldest post showing up last or showing up later, and it's kind of a cross between a blog and something like Twitter or something like that. So what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to log into my account here. Okay, now if you don't have an account, obviously you just click the sign up button, enter in your email address, create a password, and then a URL that you want to use. So what I'm going to do is I already have this set up. So I'm just going to log in. So just take one moment here to log in, and I'll show you the admin panel, the back end for Tumblr as well. Okay, so here I am logged into my Tumblr dashboard. Now, I've already gone ahead and created a Win Her Back Guide blog, but I'm going to show you here how to do it. So, okay, so just select a title, a URL, whether or not you want to password protect it, which in this case I don't. Okay, so Win Her Back Guide on Tumblr. Now, same process as with the last portal that we're using, the last Web 2.0 site with hub pages. You can add text, photos, quotes, links, chat, audio, and video. Only thing you should remember is it is in the style of a blog. So the first thing that I post will end up being at the bottom of my page. So I want to keep that in mind as far as keeping things in order. So I can select video. It's going to bring up a video module. Once again, I can just copy and paste that video URL that we found earlier. Okay, so then I can also add text. Okay, so just copy and paste the article like we did before. Okay, and then when you do, you will have something that looks like this. Oh, just one moment. Okay, so it's this is the plain standard version. It's the standard template. So what I can do is I can click customize. Okay, so I can add a description. So add your. Okay, I can choose a different photo if I like. I can choose different themes. Okay, I can choose the different appearance for my title, my links. Choose the different services that I want to set up. Okay, as well as some advanced features. So I can show, this will change the number of posts that I will show per page. I can choose to have all links open in a new window. I can also choose to truncate the RSS feed. What that does is it shortens the posts in my RSS feed, so subscribers need to visit my Tumblr in order to read them in full. Okay, I can also use descriptive URLs. Okay, so I'll just save that then. Okay, so that's saved. And just select save and close. Okay, so I want to add the text. I want to add that article. Okay, so the same title. Okay, and then once again, it's just a standard editor that I can use. So I can bold things to draw attention to the 3 different ways that you can win her back. Okay, so I'm just going to select save that. Now if I go and visit the actual URL, okay, so just one moment here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there you go. So 3 surefire ways to win her back. As you can see that the give her space, don't try to buy her back, and be okay with the breakup, they're all bolded as I chose. You can also add HTML links
You can add everything else just the same as you would when you're going through like hub pages or Squidoo or anything else like that. And if I want to add any additional content, I can just click at the top here. So if I wanted to add a video, okay, just put in the same URL that we found earlier. Okay, and then remember, like I said, the video post, because it's the last one that I did, is actually going to be the one that shows up first. So depending on how you want to do things, whether you want to have your video show first or an article, do keep that in mind. But this isn't a bad way to have it either. I know it is opposite from how we had it at hub pages, but the video, its job is going to be to direct people back to your site anyways. So it's not a bad idea to have that listed first as well. Okay, so there you have it. That is Tumblr, and that's just another example of how you can build Web 2.0 sites. Once you have your Web 2.0 sites and pages set up, the next thing that you'll want to concern yourself with is linking them to each other. As George talks about on just about on page 50 or so of the free traffic methods in the link wheel section, what you want to do is you want to have links that go from your one of your Web 2.0 pages to the other. You should be doing it in a random fashion. So you could have your Squidoo page linked to your hub page linked to your Tumblr blog, your Tumblr blog linked to your landing page. So just like George explains in that chapter, just follow through those instructions for linking. And like I said, just make sure that it's a random link. You can use different anchor text as well. So, like for example, ways to win her back. We used ways to win her back in the hub page, so we might want to use to win her back or win her back for the keyword anchor text for that link, and then link it to that hub page. Okay, so once you have the Web 2.0 site set up and you have your link wheel set up as well, you're ready to move on to the next step in the process, and that is to bookmark and submit all of your pages. So one of the more popular social bookmarking sites is dig.com. Another is Delicious. Okay, so you just simply go to the site, you can join it, create a new account, you'll choose a username, a password, you'll set up an email address, you'll enter in the CAPTCHA information, and then you'll have an account at Dig. That allows you to bookmark different content and have it submitted to your Dig account. Alternatively, what you can do is you can use a bulk social bookmarking service, something like Social Marker. Okay, now Social Marker is a free tool that allows you to bookmark one entry at a time. So, going back to the example, the win her back. Okay, so win her back guide. Then I'll enter the URL of the link I want to submit. So in this case, it's winherbackguide.tumblr.com for the Tumblr page that I just created. Okay, so you can also add some additional text if you like, as well as tags. So these are once again the same keywords. So ways to win her back, to win, how to win her back. Okay, so things like that. Alright, so you can choose all the different places that you want to have it submitted to, and then select the submit button to start the submission. Okay, so it's just taking a moment here to process. Alright, so then what you'll do is you'll sign in with each of the different accounts. that you have at each of the different social bookmarking sites. Okay, so I would just sign in with my Propeller account. It's going to submit the information and it will go on to the next for me. Okay, so I'll keep doing that, going through each of the different sites. It will submit them. It will then submit this page to all of those sites. Now, alternatively, what I can do is I can just choose individual sites to submit to rather than submitting to all of them at once. And I can actually do that on the front page. So you can see right here at the bottom of the page, there's check marks beside all of the different sites. Okay, so I can also do this as well. I can just have it select the bookmarking sites for me. I can have it just select the new sites for me. Or I can have it just select the ones that have do follow links. Now, if you remember, as George mentioned in Traffic Ultimatum, a do follow link is a link that Google will follow, a link that Google will pass PageRank from towards your site. So it's definitely a good idea to submit your content, your articles, your Web 2.0 pages, your Squidoo pages, your landing pages, any articles that you have on your site, anything that you have. It's a good idea to submit it to these do follow sites. It won't give you, a huge, gigantic amount of traffic or page rank or authority because of it, but every little bit does count. So as it adds up over time, it does have an impact. Okay, so as I said, you can also select the bookmarking sites or news sites as well. You can also choose what social marker determines to be the best. Okay, and then that way you're not having to go through all of these, every single one of these sites. At bare minimum, at least select the do follow and submit to those sites. Alright, so it's a very simple process when you're using social marker. Just like I showed you, you're entering in the title, the URL, any text that you want, the tags, and then submitting, logging into the sites as you go, and submitting each of them individually. Okay, now alternatively, you can use FeedShot. FeedShot is a paid service, $2.99 per feed submission. It used to be free, but as you can see here, there was an overwhelming volume of spam, and the free submissions were discontinued. So the submissions are made to a few different sites, especially in comparison to what you get here with Social Marker. So if you want to, what you can do is you can submit to these sites. I wouldn't suggest that you submit all of your pages. Any page that you own, as I mentioned earlier, whether it's an article, a video page URL that's on Blip TV, Rever, or say YouTube, you should definitely bookmark those, and I would suggest that you bookmark them using Social Marker or some other bulk submission service. The pages that you own on your own site, though. So in the case of this example, the pages that reside at winherbackguide.com, that was one of the domains that we discovered earlier. Any pages that would reside on that domain, I would submit directly with FeedShot. More likely than not, I would probably just submit the homepage itself, because this way it's going to get indexed into these premium social bookmarking sites and RSS sites, and you can then Google will come along and it will pick that up. So in the case of my Tumblr, what's going to happen is it's going to have its own RSS feed. Now, in some cases, the RSS feed is going to be something that you can find easily. In the case of Tumblr, it is a little bit more difficult, but not so much. All you really have to do is just add RSS onto the end of the URL, then go to something like FeedShot, and you'll set that up as the blog URL. Okay, so you'll enter in your information and then submit the feed, and FeedShot will then submit that feed to these sites for you. And once I have the blog URL, the RSS feed URL, I'll also add in the name of the blog, so Win Her Back Guide. Okay, now, sorry, I did that wrong. My apologies, because this is actually going to be the RSS Atom URL, and then the blog URL will be without RSS at the end. You'll then have your email. Okay, and then you select Submit Feed, and it'll take you through the process of paying the $2.99 and then submitting the feed for you. Okay, so let me just go over that again very quickly here because I don't want to be confusing. Okay, so social marker, you use it to bookmark anything that you have. Articles, videos, your own web pages, your own article pages, anything you have, use social marker to submit it. FeedShot, you can use FeedShot to submit your RSS feeds. Now, hub pages, Squidoo, Tumblr, any of your Web 2.0 sites, they're all going to have RSS feeds. Some of the article directories have RSS feeds. Your Yahoo channel should have an RSS feed as well. Your website. So in the case of this example, winherbackguide.com, because it's installed with WordPress, is going to have an RSS feed. So there's lots of RSS feeds that you can submit. You can use FeedShot to submit them. The only problem is that it's going to cost you $2.99 for every single feed. So what I'd suggest is, for your main blog, in the case of this example, winherbackguide.com, your main site, that's the site that I would submit with FeedShot. Then any additional pages you can submit with Feed Submitter. So Feed Submitter is a free service. All you do is you just copy and paste the URL, enter in your email, and then select to submit the RSS feed. Okay, now I will also go through the same process to submit feeds for my hub pages, Squidoo pages, Yahoo video channel. Anytime I can find an RSS feed, I'll use Feed Submitter to submit it. Okay, so let's just go through very quickly here an example for FeedShot. So Win Her Back Guide. The blog URL is going to be winherbackguide.com. The RSS feed is going to be winherbackguide.com/RSS. And then the email, and then like I said, hit submit feed, and FeedShot will submit that RSS URL to blogs, Blog Pulse, Fiverr Search, Google Blog Search, Ice Rocket, Weblog a lot, and weblogs.com. Okay, so once you have your RSS feed submitted and you have your social bookmark submitted, there's only one additional thing that you can do to improve your efforts as far as social media marketing goes, and that's actually to ping. Now, pinging basically, what you're doing with your RSS feed submission is you're letting Google, Yahoo, Bing, all those different search engines and many other sites as well know that your website exists. They can then subscribe to your RSS feed and be notified whenever new content is added to your site. But what about if you go back to a post? What about if I go back to my Tumblr account and I add another video to my Tumblr? Because it's an older post, Google, Yahoo, Bing, all the different websites that have subscribed to my RSS feed may not actually see that that particular post has been updated because that post was, 2 weeks old or however old it is. So the way I can get around that to make sure that these services are updated to the fact that I have made changes to that post, I can go ahead and use a service called Ping-O-Matic. So Ping-O-Matic is a service to update different search engines that your blog has updated. So very simply, I'll just add the name of my blog. I'll enter in my blog URL, the URL of my homepage, and then as well the RSS feed. Okay, so I can select the common services or specialized services. I can choose to check all of them, and then select send pings. And then what's going to happen there is Ping-O-Matic will send, basically, imagine it like an email or like a sonar ping. The ping gets sent out to all these different services. That's basically like a little message. Like I said, like that's why I use an email example. So it's kind of like a little message telling them to say, hey, there's this new content here that's on this site. You should come and look at it. Okay, so there you have it. Everything you need in order to dominate the social network space in your market by creating Web 2.0 pages with sites like Squidoo, Hub Pages, and Tumblr, as well as bookmarking and submitting your content. So bookmarking your content with social bookmarking sites like Dig, Delicious, Simpy, and Floral, as well as submitting your RSS feed to sites like Weblogs and the Google Blog Search. And as well, you can also ping any new content that you have by using Ping-O-Matic. Okay, so now that we have everything covered there, we can move on to the next video, and I hope to see you